Say it right quick one time. I got a radio show. I want to know about the truth about what happened in the 1967 riot. I'm live right now, actually. I got a radio show right now that broadcast is right here. So what?
You got me on the radio.
No, I ain't put you on yet. But I want to know the truth about what happened in 1967. So what you say happened in 1967 again?
But they started that riot up and they were beating up on a black girl, the white policeman.
So you said there was a black woman who was
a prostitute.
She was a prostitute.
Yeah.
And the white police officers started beating on her.
They were hitting her, and a lot of black people walked up to her and said, "Why are you hitting her like that? Did you not supposed to beat them? You take them to jail for doing it, but you don't hit them." And the cops just kept on, "I'll take you to jail, get it to the police matter." And they kept doing it. And the people started ganging up and said, "No, you're not going to do that no more. You're not going to beat her. That's not your job." And that's how that riot started.
Oh, so that's how the riot started in 1967. A lot of people got. This brother, what's your name, brother?
Levi Linebacker.
That's what's up, man. So he was out in that riot and he saw what happened back then. He was a living participant in this thing. That's major.
On the radio.
Yeah, it's major, man. That's history.
But it's the truth.
It's the truth. And now people need to know the truth about what happened back in the day, bruh. You know, that we need to know what really happened. People get their...
That is why they started they put black, had more blacks, policemen. So they put a black and a white cop in a car together.
Okay.
So they can stop some of that racist stuff.
Okay.
That's why they started doing it, because it was all white policemen back in them days.
Wow. And so...
And mostly all white.
So all that happened to spark up, like you was just saying, it is a terrible thing to see that again in 2017.
I want to see another one.
Hey, so he was a witness of how it really branched out. And you 80 now?
I'm not 80, I'm 77. I'm close to
70 something years, man. That is awesome, man. You're a part of history of this city. You know, that's historical. I mean, it's actually been broadcast all over the place. But people don't really know what happened to really start it. So you famous. You know, you famous right now. You know
I'm not famous.
Yes, you are. You famous because that's historical. Because you're a part of history of what happened.
Let the bus stop the rest on TV.
Look, he became a participant. He was
that's the gospel truth.
That's the gospel truth of what happened in 1967. That, you know, it all branched off like that. That's how it branched off. So that's my prayer, that we never see none of that like that jump off ever again. You know,
I don't want to see it.
And like he was just saying, he don't want to see that ever happen again. You know, where, you know, it was a terrible time on 12th Street right there, right here in the city of Detroit, Michigan. So, I mean, everything. Look, he just said it, that they had an order because it was out of order already. Something was out of order. It was injustice that took place. So, you know, people got frustrated because they was tired of people being manhandled back then. They didn't like that manhandling. And this was a person that experienced that back in that day and he was an eyewitness of this bad boy. So that's major, man. A part of history. 1967 riot, WXYZ just did a big thing over there on 12th. Yeah. Just recently. And now there's actually a movie coming out. You know, so yeah, so you know, and you were actually a citizen, and you reside in that neighborhood, right?
I'm still around that neighborhood.
Still around that neighborhood, man. So look,
around there all my life.
All your life.
I don't get too far from him before that.
Man, that's awesome, Doc. You know, to be able to talk to a living.
Insurance company, and this is my house.
There you go. And you're a citizen of the city of Detroit. You know what I'm saying? That
Since
1951, man. I salute you, brother, and what you was able to see and do. And it's an honor, man. We honored Rosa Parks and all them for what they did. But to me, I'm 36 years old. So to see you in this time, that's an honor. You know, that, hey, this guy lived in 1967 riot. You know, it's a big thing when Rosa Parks did it on the back of a bus. But to be in that, people get recognized for what they did and get honored and respect for what they saw. You know, because, I mean, if it wasn't for you all at that time in that particular situation, most of us wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. Some of the laws and the situations that's happening on the local level here probably would have never actually changed if that would have never took place. To the point where people had experienced injustice on all type of levels. So, you know, you all had to speak out. You was a part of the solution and not part of the problem. It wasn't a march. See, marching only helps you do one thing, but when you take action, don't stuff get changed. And so now, when you take action, look at what happened in 1967. Hey, like I agree with you, brother. I don't believe it should be seen.
There are a whole lot of people that don't want to see that.
Yeah, and I agree with you, man. But you know, because that was 1967. This is 2017, man. But the one thing they always try to say is history is going to repeat itself again. You know, and you know, so we might. I mean, it's a prayer of people.
A lot of years ago.
Yeah, 1967 was. Yeah, that's a lot of years. 1967 riot. So there you have it, man. The truth about what happened in the 1967 riot.
50 years ago.
Man. Yeah, 50 years ago. 50 years ago, right here in this city, in the city of Detroit, right there on 12th Street. One of the.
You'd be all business at.
Wow. And
business stores all up and down 12. Pawn shops.
Wow.
Bars. I used to hang them.
Right.
All them bars. Furniture stores.
Man, so this city.
Stores, everything.
So this city used to be really major, wasn't it?
They burned all them places up.
Burnt everything down.
After they looted them, they burned them up.
Wow, they burnt everything.
Fire trucks was running all through the city, all night long.
Wow, so it became a desolate place. It was a waste place. Man, wow, because of that one particular injustice, right? All because of that sister that was treated unfair.
After that ride was gone?
Yes, sir.
People had babies didn't get milk.
Wow. No stores.
You had to drive out of the city to go get something.
Wow. You mean to tell me you had to drive out of the city of Detroit?
Or get that some kind of way.
What?
You couldn't feed the baby. They didn't have no.
Wow. So, you know, I guess if it happens again, it's probably going
to
say no more. We don't want to see it like that. So we got to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem, because we see what's happening all over the news, and that is getting a lot worse than what it was back then. Here and locally, regionally, and nationwide, we done saw the Trayvon Martins. We done saw this shooting. It happened on all sides. It happened to the police. Then it happened to individuals. It happened to a black police officer out in New York. You know, she was just trying to be a good citizen and be a part of a change, you know, to try to keep stuff under right subjection. And a guy came to her and murdered her, assassinated her, you know, for her.
But it just wasn't. It wasn't all black folk. White folk doing things too.
Yeah, so I know it was a mixture. I know it's a mixture. Yeah.
They just can't say it was all black.
Right.
It was all white.
Yeah, it was a mixture of it.
You got a lot of whites doing wrong just like you get black ones.
Yeah.
Don't gotta cover up the white.
Yeah, so everybody was
You have
participants.
to blame some all of them.
Yeah, everybody did something. You know what I'm saying? All humans participated in some shape, form, or fashion. So I understand that.
It was just black.
Yeah, but it was
just black.
Hey, look, that's the truth right there. It's coming from
all different nominations.
Yeah, it was all denominations. It was all cultures that were involved. Like he said, you know, once one stroke started up, everything was going forward. So look, that's what it was, man. Y'all need to know the truth about your history in 1967, and that's what happened out here for real. You know, one incident strike a whole lot of stuff out here. So how do you avoid another 1967 from happening? One thing that you know, for the law enforcement department, don't do manipulation to the people. And that was what happened. And back then, you know, because they got tired and frustrated from the injustice.
It's just like when you started.
Yes.
When they walk out here, man, they get a black man, they ain't armed them, you shoot him down.
Uh-oh.
Now you know that's wrong.
Yeah. So
now the riot started behind it. Why you be walking around and just shoot people now?
Right. So as he said,
I'm telling you, white people do their thing too.
Yeah, and
they're supposed to be covered up.
Right.
No.
Yeah. So guess what? It's a new day dawning. You know, I believe that God put it like this: for whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. So what they sow is a time to reap that. You know what I'm saying? God doesn't get a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. So it was a time that people lived inferior and was afraid back then. But now there's a bold generation that's beginning to stand up and like, hey, I dare you to do this like you did, old boy, and this boy like that. You might have did this and put some water on me, but guess what? It ain't gonna go down this particular way. We ain't gonna let you hit us with no super soaker and nothing else like that. So this is it's a brave, a courageous generation that we knew that y'all lived through it in that day, and now we see y'all living that helps us, you know, appreciate it on all facets of life where, you know, history was. And so that's a great thing, man, that has surfaced this time. We need to know that, hey, these was injustices back then. And now we see that they intensified, you know, on all type of levels. But one thing we do know is that it's a bold, different generation. Now, see, this generation is, you know, they fighting with them and they shooting them. You know, just as many as they shooting them, is becoming equal.
If you keep shooting that, killing enough people like that,
yeah.
What do you think other people gonna retaliate shooting you?
There you go. There you go.
You just know who started. You started shooting.
Yeah. So pretty much like he's saying, you know, in the young folks' term, don't start no stuff, won't be no stuff, huh? So that's the truth of the fact of the matter, you know, about what happened in 1967. Some got started, like Michael Jackson said, you want to be starting something, so they started something. And so what happened was something was ended. But then, you know, people got intensified and they thought they was going to override that in that particular season. But see, that was only a short season, but that don't mean dominance continues to happen that way. It has to be brought lower, because the truth of the fact of the matter, it has to come out, and real history has to come to pass, man. So you definitely gotta, you definitely gotta know what time it is today. You got to know what time it is and know about your history, the truth about what happened in 1967. So now we got to understand, we got to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem, to never have that go down ever again. We need to reevaluate, check the analytical facts and pictures and everything, and we need to get that back down there and see how we can stop that from taking place again. That's wisdom. When you think that's wisdom, to avoid something on that level from ever happening, because it don't mean that it'll ever happen. The outcome probably won't be like it was in 1967. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I bet be a whole lot of damage done up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so that's what we don't want to see. But people have been marching after march after march after march right here in Detroit. It's been killing after killing after killing. And something is going, marching, it's just like this. If you was ever